Ooh, wait, that was not what I wanted to do. Hello, my cublings. Welcome back to another Reddit retail reaction. I did not mean to do the can, but anyway, you guys will notice some changes. I am wearing my Genshin outfit. So what do you guys think of my new hairstyle? Pretty, right? Right, right. But yeah, this is normally what I wear when I'm doing Genshin story time, and I couldn't have been bothered to, you know, put on my normal outfit. So we're doing Reddit retail reactions in our Genshin outfit with a little bit of can thrown into it. But anyways, these titles will make great book titles. Like, okay, three of these titles will make good book titles. Starting with The Story's Full of Liars, Grandma Oblivious, and What Happened to Common Sense. Don't they sound like great book titles? But anyway, let's get into the story. Looking over the subreddits and some of the wholesome stories brought me back to a little mom and pop toy store I used to work at, and one experience that I'll never forget. It's been a while since I've worked at the toy store, but part of what made the place special was we would demo games with families, recommend children's books that we had and loved, and we wrapped gifts for free. Yes, also for Christmas, and that was a lot. But sometimes mindlessly wrapping gifts was nice. But on a slower day, a mom came in and I greeted and asked her what she was looking for, asked who she was shopping for, and the standard questions. She explained that her young son was struggling to sleep and would cry almost every night because he was terrified of monsters at night. A book we had just gotten was called The Night Nights by Gideon Steer. I recommended to her, and that was all she got that day. I would also recommend looking up the book. The art is gorgeous, and honestly, it is a good book for any children worried about monsters at night. A few weeks later, she came in when I was working and pulled me aside to tell me that the book had helped her son feel safer, and he has been able to sleep. Has been raving about nights, and she's been reading it every night to him. That made me so incredibly happy, and I do miss working at that place just because I got to meet so many amazing families and funny children. Figured I'd shared another wholesome story here to add to the pile. That is so sweet. I love it. Can we please stick to the wholesomeness? Can we please stick to the wholesomeness of these retail stories? Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. My heart, I can't. Okay, I'm rating this a wholesome, heart melting out of 5. Oh, the story. Oh, I love it. Okay, so this I would rate a 1 out of 5. And honestly, I don't think I would have done anything differently here. Um, this guy takes the cake. But yeah, no, this is, oh, I love it. I love it. And the reason why I say I rated a 1 out of 5 because it's so wholesome. There was no arguing, there was no fighting, there was no difficult customers, none of that. And it's my chef's kiss. The store is full of liars. Oh, lazy Maine, why? Please do not crush my dreams of wholesome retail stories. Went to work on Tuesday when a woman came in to pick up a prepaid order, sorry. I remember helping her pick out the gift originally and she was a bit of a difficult customer, but not rude. Just one of those people that needs to see every color in every style before making a decision. Okay, understandable. It took her almost an hour texting back and forth with her adult son to figure out what he wanted, and of course, it was the only color I didn't have at our location. She paid in full, all was well, and I was happy it was over. Fast forward a few days later to Tuesday. I had one other customer in the store when she came in. I smiled, gave her the shoes, and figured that would be the end. Instead, she starts rambling and going off about how she was here the day before to buy something and she was going to pay cash but decided to pay card, but still put down $20 and it's our fault her money is missing. She said, "Oh, it's such a shame that there's truly no more honest, good people in the world, all because she didn't see $20 sitting on the counter of the store a day later." I finally try and get a word in because she's basically just rant yelling at me. "Ma'am, I have no idea what you're talking about. I wasn't working yesterday." She says, "Oh, I know that." Then continues talking about about how our small business is terrible and finally walks out. She literally knew I had nothing to do with whatever weird situation she had and yet still felt justified in yelling at me for it. After she left, the only other customer in the store looks at me and goes, "What was wrong with her?" His response gave me faith I wasn't crazy. Aww. I told him if she hadn't yelled at me, I would have told her we have a lost and found for lost items like that. Also, since the owner was the one who helped her, I was going to let her know she could talk with him the next day. There's literally nothing a small business has to gain over stealing a $20 bill. That type of situation could ruin our reputation. Okay, this is kind of wholesome. And I like the way she handled it. She didn't get emotional. She didn't get anything like that. I will rate this a 2 out of 3 because there was like accusations and stuff thrown, but there was still some wholesomeness into it with the other customer, just like reassuring this lady who works here that you're not in the wrong. You didn't deserve that. So, yeah, I would rate this a 2 out of 5. How would you have dealt with this situation? This is kind of wholesome, but yeah, I don't think I would have. Honestly, if I were there, I would have like, "Ma'am, if you let me get a word in, then maybe I can help you instead of just standing here and listen to you berating me when I wasn't even in yesterday. I can either help you or you can leave. But I'm not going to stand here and take you and allow people to shout at me for something that I didn't do or for something I was not involved in." I think that's how I would have handled the situation. I don't know if I would have gotten into trouble for that or not, but it's never okay to shout at somebody who never served you, who never helped you while you were purchasing something, who wasn't there or wasn't present if they had an off day or whatever the case may be. It's never okay to shout at another retailer for something that happened to you when you were busy with somebody else. So I wouldn't have stood for that. I would have definitely stood up for myself in that situation. So yeah, how would you guys have handled this situation? What do you think of this story? And let me know. Okay. Third story. Grandma oblivious. Today there was a grandma in our parking lot with a toddler out of his stroller. She was standing there texting while the baby walked around. Oh my word, guys, if you're taking care of children, especially babies and toddlers, young children who run around and are curious, because that's what children are. They are curious about everything. They want to touch everything. They want to know everything. They want to put everything in their mouth. They they Please put your phones down. Your phone is not that important. You can always replace your phone, but you can never replace a child. Oh my word. I was getting something out of my car and I noticed how far away from her the kid was. I called out to her, "Hey, he's getting away." She never looked up from her phone. I got my item out of the car and the kid was now moving really fast, and another customer was yelling at her. She still never looked up from her phone. I tapped her shoulder. "The baby is too far away." She finally started after him, still not looking up from her phone. When she got him, she scolded him, which made the baby cry and laid down on the ground very close to the driveway entrance. Oh my word. She continued to tap away on the phone while the baby lay there in a tantrum. where a car can run over the child. What is so damn important that you can't put your damn phone down? Oh my word, I'm getting so mad. I stopped to talk to the other customer. I then spotted the baby walk right into the driveway. Oh my word. Grandma oblivious was still. I would have taken that lady's phone and thrown it on the floor. And I'm like, watch your damn grandchild. At this point, I stomped over to her. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. I finally had to tap her shoulder, vigorously shouting, you have to get out of the driveway. Cars driving here really fast. This is dangerous. I got a mild, oh, thank you, in response. But she did finally take the kid back to his stroller, scolding him all the while. I sure wish I could find the baby's parents to tell them grandma is not a suitable caregiver. Yeah, exactly. I would have actually asked her, can I please get the parents' number, because clearly you're more interested in your phone than what you are in this child. If anything happened to this child because you're too engrossed in your phone. Oh, yeah. And then you scold the child because you couldn't be bothered to take care of your child because you're too engrossed on your damn phone. Oh, this is a 5 out of 5, because honestly, I would have walked up to him like, I'm sorry, your phone is more important than your damn grandchild. But if anything happens to your grandchild, that is not on your grandchild, that is on you, because apparently your phone is more important than a child. You can replace a phone any time of the day or year or whatever, but you can't replace a child. You cannot replace a life. The child is not the one who needs scolding. You're the one who needs scolding. Oh, this makes me so mad. I would have said something. Honestly, I would have said something, and I would have picked up the child and I'm like, can I please get the parents' number so I can let them know what's going on? Or I would have phoned Child Protective Services. Ask them to come fetch the child and contact their parents. But I would have definitely said something. That's a 5 out of 5. That just gets my blood boiling. We started off wholesome. Why couldn't we end off on wholesome? Oh, these stories are getting worse. No. Okay. Anyway, what do you guys think of that story? How would you have handled that situation and what would you have done? Going on to our fourth story. Oh my word, I can't. I've got accused of stealing money from a customer despite having security footage proving that I didn't. Woman accused me of stealing 200, okay, I don't know what PLN is, from her the day before. When my boss showed her security footage and documentation from counting the cash at the end of my shift that proved that I gave her the correct amount of change, she kept arguing that I must have stolen that money for myself and completely ignored the security footage. She called me a thief and demanded that I should admit to stealing. She only left when told she's welcome to call the police. I've been working in a corner store for a month now. It's my first real job, as earlier I've been doing some commissions for friends and babysitting for family. So me and my coworker open the store and immediately a lady storms in. Mind you, this was 6 a.m. and I'm pretty sure that she's been waiting before we even came in 15 minutes before opening to prepare the store. She points at me, yells, "You!" and asks if I remember her. I didn't. I have over 500 clients a day coming through the store on my shifts. She says that she was buying cigarettes from me yesterday that she paid with 200 bill. For context, it's about 7 hours wage of work. When she was buying cigarettes, it still didn't narrow it down. We have lots of clients who do that. She tells me that she actually gave me two bills by accident, claiming that they've stuck together and she didn't notice it then, and that I've robbed her of those additional 200 and she wants it back. At that point, my coworker took over. I had no idea how to even respond. And she's told that lady that we can't just give her 200 and that she should come back in about 3 hours, because then our boss will come in and she could review the security footage and solve the issue. Okay, which is fine. The lady kept arguing that at that point I'd be gone. I wouldn't, and that she would have to take a day off at her own job, but eventually she left. She came back at 9 a.m., stood directly in front of the register, and just stared at me angrily. I told her that my boss isn't there yet. She just told me I'll wait and continued on staring at me, blocking the way to the register. Finally, my boss came in. She showed that lady documentation from the end of my shift that when I was counting cash, I didn't have additional money, and she showed a security footage from when that lady was in the day before, where it was clearly shown that I wasn't handed an additional bill that I could have not. Oh my word, that I didn't notice or steal. The lady started arguing that I must have stolen the money for myself. She was shown the footage of me again, where she could see that I didn't steal any money. She started yelling at me that I should just admit that I've stolen it. She also said that she knows her truth and that my boss has her own opinion, but she wants her money back. Again, she was provided with solid proof that I didn't steal the money. After some back and forth, she was told that she's welcome to call the police if she wants to. So she finally left, yelling at me that I'm dishonest and that the money I've stolen isn't worth it. She never came back or called the cops. Well, now I get paranoid every time a customer that vaguely resembles her comes in. But I'm glad the boss and the evidence were on my side, that I didn't actually miss that bill by accident, both when she was paying and when I was counting the money. If it wasn't clear, I didn't steal the money or any money from a customer or a cash register. I like the way how the boss and the fellow employee or colleague handled the situation. I think if I was starting there and a lady was screaming and shouting at me like that, I'm like, ma'am, I cannot help you if you're gonna scream and shout at you. I get that it's stressful when money goes missing, but do not shout at me. I didn't steal your money. We can check the security footage if you want to. We just have to wait for our boss. And then I would be like, can you give me a second so I can phone him and explain the situation to him? But if you're going to scream and shout at me, I'm going to ask security to remove you and you can call the police. That's how I would have honestly handled the situation, because you do not shout at people. I understand that you're angry, I understand that you're upset and stuff like that, but you don't just go in shouting at people and falsely accusing people because of your own mismanagement. And if there's clear evidence that nothing was stolen, then why would you still accuse that person of stealing your money when there's clear evidence that that didn't happen? So yeah, no, it's like I did. I think being accused of theft is like really, really bad. It can destroy your reputation, it can destroy your chances of getting another job and stuff like that. So I would definitely rate this a 5 out of 5 because how serious the accusation is. But like I said, I like the way the colleague handled it and I like the way the boss handled it. Uh the way they handled it, I would say is a 1 out of 5 because they handled it excellently. Something similar happened to me years ago with an older woman who came in to make complicated exchange and then later claimed she should have also got money back and I must have taken it from her. This went on for days. She came in multiple times wanting to speak to different managers. If I was working, the manager would just have me go in the back until she left because she was so insistent that I took her money. Yeah. Yeah, people Yeah, guys, like just because you mismanage your money doesn't constitute into you accusing other people for stealing your money. If you know for sure somebody stole your money, then okay, fine, and there is evidence of it, fine. Go nuts within the confines of what is legal. Don't do anything that can actually cause harm to somebody else. But yeah, be angry, you know, and deal with it the way you need to deal with it within the confines of legal justice or the legal system, whether it's going to the police, whether it's like going to small claims courts, whatever the case may be. But don't try and take justice into your own hands. It never works out well. But yeah, how would you guys have handled that situation? That let me know because I'm really, really interested how you guys would have handled what you guys think of these stories. So let me know in the comments down below. Okay, what happened to common sense? This needs to be a book. I'm sorry, this needs to be a book because what has happened to common sense? It's like it's like people just like, ooh, common sense. I'm allergic to common sense, and then they try and run away from common sense. Like, guys, guys, please. I work in a grocery store, and earlier today I was collecting baskets from the front to the back to the entrance, and you have to go through parts of the produce section to get there. When I'm around 15 feet from the door, this guy who looked to be in his 40s or 50s walks in and immediately turns to the side and drops a handful of garbage into one of the stacks of baskets already by the door, and then makes his way into the store. I have no problem being confrontational when I need to be, but I hate it, so I wasn't gonna say anything. But as I was picking up his trash, I was like, you know what, screw it. And I turned around to face the guy who was still pretty close to me, and I go, hey, sir, don't throw your garbage here. There's a bin right there. And I point to the garbage bin, which I kid you not is literally 2 steps to the side. He looks taken aback and then starts nervously laughing and apologizing, saying he didn't see the bin. But I was too tired to engage any further, so I just said okay and turned around and continued putting the baskets away. But like seriously, even if you didn't see the bin, why the would you just dump your trash into the basket? Not even 2 minutes later, when I was done, this guy was still there looking at some squash and he sees me walking away and gets my attention to ask me something. I've never eaten this before. How do you cook it? I don't know. I've never had it either. Oh, what? You don't know how to cook it? No. And then I start to walk away. But as I am, I hear him turn to another customer and ask them, like, buddy, Google, it's free. Use it. Oh no. People assuming me or one of my coworkers know every little detail about different products happen a lot more often than you think. And it baffles me every time they get this confused look on their face. When I tell them I have no idea how to cook or use whatever they're asking about, obviously, if I do happen to know, then I tell them, but that really doesn't happen often. Okay, I don't like this retailer. He could have been more helpful. Okay, yes, tell the customer, like, I'm sorry, sir. This is not the dustbin. The dustbin's over there. Can you just maybe move your trash? These baskets are for, shopping purposes or whatever the case may be. And then I would have also, if he asked me this, I'm like, oh, I've never had this before, but this is how I make normal squash. I don't know if this will work on this particular squash. You know what? Let me look it up for you. And then I'll go look it up for him. And then I'll be like, okay, so according to this, this is how you cook it. And this is the name of the website. Let me write it down for you. Here you go, sir. That is customer service, not what this guy is doing. I don't like this retailer. This retailer's in the wrong. He could have been more helpful. He could have been a little bit more patient. So for that reason, I'm rating this a 3 out of 5. But let me know how you would rate this a story, and let me know how you would have handled this situation. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, sorry guys, I'm just looking at some of the comments. I don't see anybody else like calling this guy out for not being more helpful towards the customer, not being more customer, not really showing any kind of customer service. Oh no, what did I do? Whoopsies, I made my model disappear. I'm back. I'm back. But yeah, with that being said, that is the end of this week's retail stories, which means it is time for. Hi. Welcome to my merch drop. Guys, if you want to support me in any way or whatever, I do have merch available. Please go and check out my merch. I got all products, boob drops, Born Under a Rock, and jewels in Minecraft. So if you guys want to go check out my merch store, here's some of the stuff that you can get. So I got a variety of products on here. So yeah, please go check that out. If you guys want to know what my favorite product is, I would say I think it's in Minecraft, Jules Minecraft. I like the water bottles, the cropped shirts, and the sweatshirts and the cropped hoodie. Like I love this cropped hoodie. Look how cute it is and it comes in different colors. So yeah, I would say those are some of my favorite. And the Born Under a Rock bag that I designed, that's also like one of my favorite products. So the Born Under the Rock bag, the mug, and the mouse pad. Those are like one of my favorites. And then one of my latest ones, I would say, is the fleece blankets that I made, and it's this one. It's a Sherpa blankets. So yeah, guys, please go check out my merch store and let me know what your favorite merch is. And then moving on to, I do have a card with all my links. So if you guys want to go check that out, please, there's my card information. So yeah, if you just click on these icons, it will take you to the page, and then I've got a list of what each page is. So if you guys want to go check out my other socials, mm, sorry, I got like a little please go ham. Yes, guys, I do commission. So if you guys want to commission me, please go ahead, check out my commission page on Fiverr. Again, all these links will be in the description down below. And I also got a VGen description, VGen for my Vroid models. If you guys want to commission me for your own for your very own Vroid model. Oh, also adding to. Wait, hold on. Control Shift Z. Let me open. I forgot to open up one page. I forgot to open up one page. Hold on, hold on. Ko-fi. There we go. Guys, I do have models and outfits available for Vroid. If you guys do have Vroid models, or if you want your own Vroid model, please go ahead and check that out as well. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And until next week, bye, my cuddling.